So in just 1 year's time, I've been able to build a business from $0 to now produce well over $20,000 every single month without having to dance like a clown in order to get attention, waste time cold calling, or spending a whole bunch of money on advertising. And so what I'm going to be doing is breaking down 4 key points that any new entrepreneur can use to build this type of business and potentially earn $5, $10, $15, heck, even $20,000 or more per month. And if you stick with me till the end of this video, you're going to have crystal clear clarity on how exactly to execute this without having to endure multiple years of roadblocks and pain and pitfalls. So if you don't know me, my name is Matt Wacek. I own an online marketing business that produces multiple 6 figures in revenue. And I'm here to share the information that I wish I knew 5 to 6 years ago so I could have bypassed all of the nonsense, the fake guru, just garbage that's out there, and actually get information that helps me succeed with the business that I'm trying to build. So without further ado, let's hop into my computer and get into these 4 key points. So real quick, I just want to show you guys the numbers that my agency is producing because I believe in being transparent with you. You're taking time out of your day to watch my content, and I actually want to show you what it's like to build this type of business from literally $0 instead of what the fake gurus do where they're literally blowing smoke up your ass showing you $200,000 months from just course sales. And as I was editing this, of course, I realized I didn't even mention what this billing figure even means. So basically, monthly recurring revenue is how much money is coming in every single month. When you compare this to like e-commerce stores where you're selling an actual physical product, that's a one and done type of sale. With a marketing agency where if you're continuing to help a business every single month get more sales, more clients and leads and sales, they keep paying you each month for that. So that's what this number is right here, about $24,000 coming in, spread across 18 different subscriptions. So that's around $1,300-ish per month, $1,350 per month that clients will pay on average. Now we have some are at $1,000, some are at $1,500, some are even close to $2,500. And so that's one of the biggest advantages with this business is that this is a very high cash flow, high margin business as opposed to something like e-commerce or any of the other models out there where it's really a one and done type of sale and you have to either be running ads to hurry up and scramble to get more customers. With this, you have customers that come on and they're ideally going to stay on board for multiple years to come if you do good enough work for them and you get them great results. So you're probably wondering, well, what does digital marketing agency actually do? And so real briefly, I'll just explain this and kind of draw it out to make sense. What we're doing here is we're solving a problem for a business and we're going to get paid in order for solving that problem for them. Here's just one very, very easy example. So let's say we have John over here. He has a landscaping business and he is doing about $200,000 in revenue. He wants to get to 500, maybe 750, maybe even a million over the next couple of years. Then you have Adam over here who has a house. He wants to redo his backyard. He wants to spend $10,000 doing it. He wants a patio. He wants new sod, trees, shrubs, mulch, all that sort of stuff. So what we do is help connect these two together because the traditional way, and this is exactly what I had to do to start my landscape business that I had before I got into digital marketing, and this was a decade ago, but there's a big canyon that you'd have to walk through as a business owner. And so that's going to involve wasting a whole bunch of money on door hangers or postcards and wasting tons of time, lots of money on this stuff. And the return is okay. But again, you're putting a lot of time into this when we compare it to what we have available now with the digital side of things. So what our goal is and what we do is we're connecting these two together. We're essentially just building this bridge that helps John avoid having to walk through this canyon, and we're able to help connect these two together. And then John lands a $10,000 project as a result of our services. What we're doing is solving a massive problem. We're helping John get more revenue. We're helping increase his profit most likely as well. And essentially what that can turn into is they're paying us $20 and we're giving them $100 in return. Because what business owner, if let's say they're paying you $1,500 a month, you bring them an additional $5K, $10K, $20, $50. Heck, we've even seen some of our clients earn an additional $100,000 a month as a result of our services. And it's an absolute no-brainer because who wouldn't want to have this opportunity right here to really grow their business? So that's basically the rundown of what a local marketing agency does. All right, so the first key point is to actually start learning the trade. There's gonna be a lot of fake gurus that are gonna be out there saying, don't even do this, just focus on sales. And yes, sales is very, 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 very critical. But if you do not have any understanding of what the actual service is, you're not going to be very confident in your ability to execute on delivering to that client. And it's going to reflect in your sales conversations because you're not going to have that conviction in your voice that, hey, we can get you results. I've been there and done that. I remember the very first sales conversation I had was at a Starbucks with a company that had a website that was like a directory for cars. And so they were basically going against like the cars.com, Auto Trader, all that sort of stuff. And I had no idea what I was talking about. This was back in 2016. This was like the very first meeting I ever had. No idea what I was talking about. I'm just talking to about technical stuff with some of the services, and I didn't get that client. Shocker. I wasn't good at sales, but I also had very little experience in actually executing the services that I was trying to sell. So again, sales is very, 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 very critical, but again, you also have to be good at what you do, or at least have a really good understanding of it, and you can white label things, or you could hire an outsourced team or something like that, or even hire in-house employees if you have the funds to do that, to execute all the work. But you have to understand what's going on, because you're going to have questions that come up in sales conversations that clients are going to ask you, hey, this ranking thing, or this something related to websites or related to the Google pay-per-click ads, that you have to be able to answer like that. Otherwise, they're going to go elsewhere because they see that you're not confident in what you're selling. And I'm speaking from experience, having hundreds of conversations over the past couple of years with contractors and me trying to sell the services that my agency sells. So what I would suggest doing is heading over to YouTube. Obviously, you're here on YouTube now. I have a whole bunch of videos on my channel all about how to do SEO, website build, starting an agency, all that sort of stuff. But also, if you have experience with Facebook ads or whatever it is that you're wanting to kind of offer that's going to help bring a business more revenue, figure out a way to learn that even more. So watching YouTube, that's going to be the cheapest way to do it. The fastest way, of course, is going to be through courses, because usually they're kind of structured out if the course is done right. But either way, figure out a way to understand the trade, because it's going to display conviction in your voice and just being able to carry out a better sales conversations, and it's going to be able to lead you to sign more clients as a result. And so what I would highly suggest doing, and this is what really helped my agency grow, is niching down, focusing on solely one niche only. Anyone else comes to us, nope, sorry, we don't work with you guys. And yes, it does kind of suck to turn down business, but when you look at some of the things, when you get into growing when you have 5, 10, 15, 20 clients or more, it's just so much easier to actually run your business when you just work in one niche, because of certain services that you offer, because it's very scalable and you're able to grow faster because you don't have to do all these different things for this different company, like roofing company, chiropractor, landscape contractor, pest control, whatever it all is. So what I would suggest doing is, if you have experience, you're 25, 30 years old, you have some working experience, find some industry that you have some experience in, whether you worked a job, owned a business. For me, I owned a business, landscape company, for 5 years, after working for about 4 to 5 years within the industry, worked for lawn and landscape companies and municipalities and that sort of stuff. So I have a lot of experience in that industry. That's why I selected it. Now, if you're someone who has no experience, you're 18 years old, what I would suggest doing is just check on YouTube. Just browse around some industries you might have some interest in. Again, watch my niche selection video, because it does kind of dive into figuring out the right ones to work with and the ones not to work with in terms of the revenue models that those businesses have. Because a company that only makes $200 on a client, it's very difficult to sell a higher ticket service program to a client that does not make very much money unless they are working at scale. They're working at multiple millions of dollars a year in revenue. So niching down is going to be one of the best things for it. It's going to help you immensely when we get into the third point here, which is to actually build a brand. So the third step is to build a brand. This is going to be a night and day difference in terms of what you can achieve over the long haul. Am I saying you're going to be able to build a multiple six-figure a month marketing agency in 2 months? Probably not. Basically, the rundown here, the old way, is by going through the canyon, just like what we're doing with the businesses that we're helping. Cold calling, cold emailing, cold outreach, that sort of stuff, business networking meetings, not wasting any of that time. That's going through the canyon. Then when you finally get the opportunity, when there's a prospect that you can see, you're kind of crawling up the canyon, you have to pine and claw for their attention. Whereas, if we create content, specifically on YouTube, and then also build a website that looks good for your agency, brand it out, looks amazing, take some time and put effort into this. I would suggest WordPress, and ideally probably Elementor, or if you want to use Divi or some of the other ones, those work too. But optimize that for your SEO so that way you can rank. Because a lot of people will go, a lot of businesses are going to go and search their industry and marketing, or their industry SEO, their industry website design. And they're gonna, if they land at your website, you have a very good shot of converting them into a potential sales conversation. But if we come over here to my agency's YouTube channel, we're searching by the oldest videos. Here is why this is so key. I have videos from 5 years ago discussing, or like a website build tutorial. And so with these videos, they're still getting views. We route them to my company's website, and this can turn into clients very easily without having to pay money on ads. I didn't have to leave my house. You can use a phone. My phone's nowhere near me, but you can use your phone to film a video using Camtasia if you want to share your screen. And it's very, very affordable. We're talking less than a couple $100 in software and tools in order to make this happen, to put these onto YouTube. And of course, there's going to be effort that goes into this. There isn't any business out there that makes a good amount of money that didn't take a bunch of effort to put into it. So this will pay dividends in the future though. Like I mentioned, I have these videos from 5 and 6 years ago, getting views, bringing people in that become clients. And here's the biggest thing with it. They see my company, of course, as an authority. We have the subscriber base, and it's not huge. We don't need to have 2 million subscribers in order to build a 6-figure marketing business. You can see with my agency here, 4,800 subscribers. And you don't even need that many subscribers. You could do this with 500 subscribers, probably even less, to get to a decent amount of money, because each one of these clients is going to pay so much money every single year. You're talking $18,000, $24,000, $36,000 a year in revenue that they're going to pay. We don't need 10,000 subscribers even to make a good amount of revenue. And the last thing is that the sales process becomes so much easier because of the fact that they're seeking my company out. They're already interested in marketing services. It's exactly what we're doing with our client here. These people here are typing in landscaper near me, kitchen remodeler in my area, whatever it is. These prospects that land at my agency's YouTube channel are typing exactly that. Landscaping tips. How do I grow my landscaping company? How do I do all these sorts of things? This is huge. And I would really suggest finding industries that don't have tons of business owners that share content like vlogs or anything like that, because you're kind of competing with them for an audience and traffic. Finding those types of industries combined with the info from the niche selection video where we're talking about higher revenue sale services, and that's going to be a winning combination for just about anybody. So bottom line, build a brand, focus on it. Don't worry about next week. Focus on 6 months from now. And if I would have done that 5 years ago, I don't even want to know the numbers I'd be able to be at right now with my company. Be huge. So I saved the best one for last. The fourth point is how to actually get your first clients. So there's a lot of topics on this on YouTube of how to actually get your first digital marketing client, but I think the absolute best way is to literally work for free. Will it suck? Probably. But if you're watching this video, your current situation might suck. I don't know what your life looks like right now, but it did for me initially, and that's exactly what I had to do. I'll probably do a full-on video really in depth on how to actually get your first clients and kind of the ways to go about it without having to just do dumb things and waste time. Comment down below like hashtag how to get first clients, something like that, or first client, hashtag first client, and I'll do a video on that in the coming weeks. But I think the best way to do this is just to reach out to a business, ideally someone a little smaller. Don't necessarily go for the one that has a building. They're doing $2 million a year. They probably have some things figured out. They probably already have a website. They probably even already have a marketing agency. Maybe you could, if they already have a website, that sort of stuff, and SEO is kind of working, maybe you could try to get them with Facebook and offer to run the ads for free if they pay for the ads, something with Google pay-per-click, something like that. That's a good way to go about it. But I would suggest finding the contractors that are at lower level. Let's say they're at $150,000. Maybe they're even a startup. I would suggest probably not a startup though, because the fact that if you're doing website and SEO, that takes a crap ton of time to get good results, like tangible, really good, like testimonial video results where they increase sales by a couple $100,000. But what you can really want to do is find the guy that's at $100,000 a year, something like that, first couple of years in business. Maybe he's been at it for a few years. He's just kind of there. He wants to grow, but doesn't know how. Call them up or message them on social media, email if you got it. And what I was just doing is saying, hey, I will do this, this, and this for free for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, whatever it is. You don't have to pay anything. If you're happy with the results after 3 months or 6, or whatever the timeline is, that's when we can discuss setting up an arrangement for you to pay us to continue this to help bring you more business, if you're happy with the results. And then also another thing that you could do, and this is what I also did initially, was work for either free or practically nothing in exchange for a free testimonial, ideally going to be a video, because then it's just social proof is there, especially if they're in their office or they're in front of equipment that they own or something like that, or some branding. That way your future prospects can see, hey, this is an actual business. This isn't just some fake review or whatever. So that social proof is going to be absolutely huge. Now I'm at the point where we get really good results. I have clients saying, hey, if you need a testimonial, let me know. I can film a video. Just let me know what I got to talk about in the video. Like, that's huge. That is absolutely huge. Does it suck to work for free for a couple months, few months? I mean, hell, I basically worked for free for 4 years, pretty much, working a job and then trying to build an online marketing agency. I didn't make any money for the first few years. Did it suck? Yes, absolutely. Instead of wasting your time on Netflix or something like that, at least you're building something that could pay off big in the future. And for me, it absolutely did, because I actually stuck to it, stayed consistent, put in focused work to make it all happen. So to wrap all this up, what I would suggest doing is there are going to be some links down below in this video as well as in the pinned comment. Check those out. Be sure to go down below, drop a like on this video, comment below your thoughts. Was this helpful for you? Are there things that you want to have additional covered? If you want me to do a video on the how to actually get your first client more in depth, I got a lot of cool stuff coming here. So be sure to be subscribed and click the bell so that way you know when all the newest content comes live here on my channel, and all the announcements that I do. Sometimes I'll post on the community tab as well with the new announcements. And be sure to join our Facebook group. I also will post there. And I also check out Instagram, because that's where I post a lot of things when I don't have the time to do a full YouTube video. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.